how much money do you want to make? If you were looking for a job today, how much money do you want to make each month? What do you need to survive? You know, clothes and entertainment, and, you know, a few goodies at school, you know, whatever it is you do when you're 14. See, I had a paper route when I was 14, and I could live very comfortably on about $50 a month. Of course, that was 40 years ago.
I must say.
Okay. Well, it's all about setting a goal, right? Okay, so yeah, it's all about setting a goal. But let's say you need $500 a month. Would that be too much?
No.
Okay.
I don't think you can really ever have.
All right. Well, see, if you could build a list of 500 people and add value to that list, and it could be whatever it is you want to do, whatever you're passionate about, making jewelry, okay? That list is worth about $500 a month to you in terms of income that you could potentially make off of that list. Okay, so there's a good way to gauge it. If your goal is $20,000 a month, how big a market do you need to create? Okay. And again, that's just a general rule of thumb. There's no hard, fast law out there that says they have to pay you $1 a month or anything like that, okay? It just gives you a general idea of goal setting and what you want to shoot for.
The more people that know about it, the more people are going to buy your stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So, you know, again, this allows you to expand beyond the geographical limits of Ephraim or Sanpete County or Utah, okay? Okay, so we talked about the 3 steps to success. Build a list, add value to the list, monetize your list. Okay, that means make money off of it. Okay, let's look at some examples of things you can do. First thing I'm going to do is take you over to a website called 100 Plus Teen Money Making Ideas for Young Entrepreneurs. And this is at juniorbiz.com/teen money making ideas. Now we're just going to look at a few of these real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because I want to show you some real live examples and not talk theory. I want you to actually be able to visualize some things. All right, but let's just take a second and come down here. And this is a great site because they talk about different kinds of businesses and then the advantages and disadvantages of those kinds of businesses, and then they list some of the businesses. For example, products you can make. We've already talked about jewelry. Here's greeting cards, homemade candles, portraiture from photos, scrapbooking, woodworking, and there's probably more. Huh?
CDs.
CDs. In fact, I'm going to show you a website where if you're a musician, you know, if you're a 14-year-old musician and you want to sell, you know, produce CDs like Justin Bieber, okay, and sell it to a market out there, she's like, well, Justin Bieber. Okay, bad example. But anyway, I'll show you a website where you can do that. Okay, where you can produce your music. I have a brother who's a professional musician. Okay. Remind me to tell you about CreateSpace.
Okay.
CreateSpace. All right. Anyway, so there's products you can make. Here's food products. Okay. You can make chocolate. You can do lemonade stands. You can do all sorts of things. You know. But a lot of these things again depend on your local situation. I don't imagine that somebody's, you know, again trying to set up a lemonade stand in Ephraim, Utah is going to make a whole lot. You're not going to make $500 a month. Not going to happen here. But if you were to make candy, you know, and brand your chocolates or something like that, and you think about that marketplace that we looked at that they have out there on the Blaze, whoa, you're now selling chocolate all over the world. If that's something you like to do.
How do you get it there without it melting?
Well, that's a great question. You know, you're actually asking one of the most challenging questions in the network marketing industry. Okay, because they have chocolate products that they want to sell, and meltage is their biggest issue.
Really?
And they still haven't figured out how to solve that problem. So, if you can solve that problem, if you can invent a way to solve that one problem, you'd be a multi-millionaire. Seriously. I kid you not.
That's a really good idea.
Figure out a way to solve. In fact, what you've touched on is a very important principle. The marketplace out there is full of problems and challenges, like the one you just brought up. If you can solve a problem, if you see an opportunity to solve a problem and can solve it, and then you know learn how to take that problem to the marketplace, the world will pay you infinitely great amounts of money.
Well, if they have things like thermoses, I'm sure they would keep chocolate cold.
It's not so much how to keep it cold or keep it from melting, is how do you do it economically, so that you
Yeah.
can't, so it doesn't price that product out of the marketplace. That's the challenge.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
You know,
keep it cheap.
Because yeah, you can put it on all sorts of, dry ice, refrigerate it, all that kind of stuff, and that's great, but then
It's expensive.
the cost of
Yeah.
getting that chocolate from point A to point B becomes prohibitive.
Mm.
So yeah, there's the other facet in that question, the implied facet in that question is how do we do it and still keep the cost down? So anyway, food products. Then there's some household products. These kind of goes into crafts and things, bird houses, doll houses, decorative pillows. You could do firewood. In this market, now there's one that would be good in the wintertime, because you can get wood permits up there on the hillside real cheap. And I
That's
know
cool.
people who, are able to provide firewood for a lot of the older homes around here all winter long. Okay?
What is the site called?
This is called, it's the juniorbiz.com, juniorbiz.com, /teen money making ideas, and each of those words have a dash between them. Teen dash money dash making dash ideas. Okay? And so go out there and you can take a look at those. There's a lot of details about it. There's services. For example, you can do car cleaning and detailing, car and oil maintenance. If you like changing oil in your folks' car and you want to make money doing that, there's a lot of people that you could just go knock on your neighbor's doors and say, I change oil. I'll change the oil in your car. They don't have to hassle with going down and paying $30 at the local service station to do it. They'll pay you $25.
Yeah, then they don't
Or
have to
whatever.
drive.
And then they don't have to drive and deal with it. You'll just come over and just, and if if you've got a maintenance schedule that you've set up on a spreadsheet on your computer, so that okay, it's been about 3 months, they've probably driven 3,000 miles or whatever it is. You can call them up and say, hey, based on my records, it looks like you might need an oil change again. Shall I come over and take care of all your cars today? You could make, literally a couple $100 a weekend.
Yeah.
Or, a couple times after school. So, the ideas, this just gets your ideas going. Now, here's another one that I really like. I have a nephew who is somewhat computer savvy. Now, he just left on an LDS mission. But for the last 5 years, he's been repairing people's iPods. Okay? People, their iPod breaks or whatever, and they take it to him, and he fixes it, and
You could just buy new ones.
yeah, you can fix them. And, he'll charge anywhere from $30 to $50. Usually it's a real quick fix. It's usually a swap out this part and cannibalize it for that part, and, and it's back up and running again.
Yeah.
And so, he's made a good little living, all through high school, just taking care of his friends' iPods. Okay? Well, what if you're doing,
so fast.
what if you're doing that in computers? Laptops, iPads, a little computer repair thing where you're just networking amongst family and friends. It could keep you in a good little job. Okay, it just depends on where you want to go with that. But I was impressed when I saw him doing that. Digital scrapbooking. I know people who charge $25 an hour to have somebody take all of their pictures and scan them and create a digital scrapbook for them. And so, if you like scrapbooking, if you like working on a computer, and again, this is a service you can provide to anybody in the world. It's not limited to Ephraim. In fact, write this down. Write down this website. It's called Fiverr.com. Fiver.com. And if you go out there and see what they're doing, what it is it's people that are offering services all over the world, okay? And what they're offering is that you pay them $5 for their service for the first time, so that you can see, the reason why they're on there is so that you can test them and see if they can do what they really say they can do. $5.
Yeah.
Okay, I've had
That's why they
people
call it
design a
Fiverr.
logo for me for $5. I had a lady in England design a logo for me for $5.
That's cool.
Now, what she's hoping is that I'll come back to her in the future and, pay full price to hire her to do graphic art. Okay, so if I need something like, graphic art for a book or a presentation or something where I need to create some original graphic art, now I'm paying her going rate for some graphic art because
now
she
you're
created a
on her
logo
list.
for me. Yeah, I'm on her list.
Yeah.
Okay, And so she's willing to, you know, zip out a logo for me for $5 in the hopes that I'll hire her later on, you know, doing some real graphic art, okay? So those are some things you can do. If you like graphic arts and you decide, hey, I can design logos or I can design different things, I'm going to talk about designing web pages here in a minute, then that's something you can do and people will pay you to do that.